Hello everybody and welcome back to another Battle Nations video. Today we're talking about mammoths. One of many fascinating types of units in the game. For today's video, I visited a mammoth-focused museum to get a closer look at these tanky beasts in the flesh, or at least the bone. Of the many mammoths on display here, I've gathered that the American mastodon is likely the mammoth that we all know and love from our game. And he's right over here. Still quite the hulking beast with dense skeleton and long tusks, but a bit more hairy and domed skull like the mammoths we know in Battle Nations. Much like the raptors in Battle Nations, though not to the same extreme, mammoths are a long extinct critter. Which, tells you a bit of insight into the world of Battle Nations. If there's creatures that have been dead for 10,000 years or several million years, thriving in the northern frontier. An interesting tidbit about mammoths, or mastodons, I guess. They eat in a wooded environment, where in-game we see that they feed mostly on coffee, as we learned from the Caffeinated Mammoths quest. Also, much like our mastodons, the mastodons in-game are vulnerable to being hunted, tamed, and domesticated by humans, though maybe more of a focus on the hunted part in our world. Well, with all that in mind, I say let's move into some mechanics and units actually in the game. So, in-game, mammoths appear in a couple locations. The main one that you'll find them on is just on your world map, where they'll be all over the place, ready to clear for teeth and gold and SP. These are wild mammoths. You can also find wild mammoths in wild bunches invading your base, or just mammoth groups invading your base. And with that wild bunch, you'll find them with boars and raptors. And then the interesting place where you find mammoths is with raiders, where they're tamed or mounted with artillery or just armored in general. As for training your own mammoths, you'll find that all but 2 of them are made at the animal trainer. The 2 that are excluded from that would be the Allied Mammoth Raider, which is made at the prestigious academy, not the Raider training camp, and the Mammoth Artillery, which is made at the vehicle factory. As for the rest of the mammoths, the young mammoth can be made automatically when you have your animal trainer, although it does require nanopods and is worse than the other mammoths. And to get an adult mammoth or a mammoth matriarch, you're going to need to build a mammoth pen, which also costs nanos, but it gets you some meat jobs as well. Of those player mammoth units, it's important to note that the mammoth matriarch, mammoth tank, and legendary mammoth are not currently obtainable because they are past promotional units, but I would still be on the lookout for them in the future. As for the mammoths you'll have to fight, you'll find that it's all mostly the same as what I've mentioned, except there's no enemy mammoth tank or mammoth artillery, and the raiders have access to a variety of armored mammoths pictured here, whereas we only get access to the Allied Raider Mammoth Cannoneer. And for wild mammoths, there's also the Mammoth Seer, which is a lower health, higher damage version of the Mammoth Matriarch that you'll encounter around level 55 later on in the story. One last little tidbit about mammoths here before I bring this video to a close is that the strongest naval unit in the game currently, the Mammoth class battleship, is named after the mammoth. Just a little kind of fun fact, I guess. Shows off their power a bit. Anyways, thanks for checking out my video. Have a good day.